Good morning, everybody. My blessings to the devotees, disciples, and followers of Advaita Sagara Vidyapeetham. I am Ramji Jayaraman, the founder of the Vidyapeetham. As we continue, I have a little methodology that which I am using in taking you towards Advaitam and then to a higher Advaitam and to the highest. So our first discourses were, we talked about Brahman, then we talked about Maya, we talked about the aspirant, and then we talked about Ishvara, we talked about Jiva. So the next in line that we should know is the mind, human mind. If I ask you a question, what stands between you and your mind, you and God? The answer is very clear, your mind. I'm going to do a lot of things in Bhagavad Gita, and I take the Bhagavad Gita topic. But here, I'm going to quote. In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Krishna says, it is the mind which is good is your best friend. It is the same mind which is also your worst enemy when it is in other qualities. So you have the best friend and the worst enemy with you. It is up to you to use it. This mind, let us see how it was created. At the very first time when Jiva is going to take a birth, human birth alone has mind, the full function mind. A mind is created from the sattva part of all the five panchabhutas: Akasha, air, fire, water, and earth. The sattva part of all of them are taken together and the mind is created. So in the beginning, there was a mind that was created and given to you, to a jiva. That mind is very pure. In the beginning, I always say, so there is some kind of a quality which is pure sattva, which the mind takes. Remember that every time jiva takes a birth, a mind is not made. Mind is made for it to stay for aeons. Over a period of time, mind through its own function of raga, dvesha, all those things are functions of the mind. It started accumulating rajos and tamos along with sattva and got impurified. That we call it as, the action performed in that we call it as under Maya. It is Maya which controls the mind, Jiva's mind. Remember, Maya created Ishvara, Ishvara in turn created Jiva, and Maya rules Jiva. So with that in mind, this mind is called Antakarna because it doesn't have a shape. We never can attach a shape and say the mind is like this. The best thing they say is they put a heart and call that heart as a mind. This mind, now I'm going to go into the details. Contains four. One is called, the very first one is called the manas. I don't think it is called a part of the mind. It is mind consisting of four. It can take four different shapes. And it can also take simultaneously two shapes of those. They are interlinked, very much interlinked. You will see as we go. Manas is that part of the mind which is oscillatory. You cannot make a decision, but it is the one that brings out the desires in a man. Man has a lot of things embedded in him. He doesn't come free to this world. He comes with all his karma. And for each one karma, he takes one birth. So you can imagine. So coming to manas, manas is the part which is the oscillatory part. It is the one that also suffers. It is the one that enjoys. It is the one that can travel. Very beautifully it can travel. You can sit here in your room and your mind can be in Africa, your mind can be in America, your mind can be on the moon, your mind can be on the earth. Everybody has that experience. Sitting down and reading a book very seriously, they don't even hear the doorbell because their mind is completely in the book. So manas, this oscillatory thing can be made to get the laya, that means get attached to something. Attachment comes from here, Radha Dvesha. Next is the higher one. The highest of all these is intellect. Intellect is what we point out as here, buddhi, or here. Intellect is called a discriminative faculty because it alone can discriminate between the self and the non-self. The most important discrimination. It can also discriminate between the good and the bad. This is not as powerful as it should be because when manas doesn't come under intellect, this manas is a foe for you. It's an enemy. Only when it comes under the intellect, command of the intellect, you perform actions right. If you go through manas, you will go through emotions. If you go through intellect, you will go through the reason. Now decide for your own side. So the intellect can say that this is bad, you should not do that. But the manas can say, oh, that's okay, we do it today, I worry about it in the hell. A lot of people say that. And so and so they perform the action. Intellect becomes weak. But for a yogi, he takes the intellect and brings it up to the top. A spiritual aspirant, as a Vedantin and an Advaitin, he concentrates on the intellect. So next in line is called Chitta. Chitta, literary transliteration. Chitta. This Chitta is again, there is no, we cannot point out that this point is Chitta, this point is Chitta. We simply say the general stage here, an imaginary stage and an imaginary stage here. There you see the world. You see the world outside as it exists as outside, but you are seeing it from inside. So the world is inside too. This concept is very important for Advaitam because we are going to go anta, we are going to go inside, we are going to travel through our subtle body. Anyway, so these Chitta's functions are these. One, it is a repository, repository of all our actions that we perform as Jiva. First it registers every action, and secondly it stores. Thirdly, a very important function, when manas comes out with some kind of a desire or some kind of a old thought, Chitta completely brings that thought exactly to the way it happened at that time. Only thing is, it is now in the future. That is called memory. That part of Chitta working together with the manas is called memory. A very important factor for every human being. If you go to bed as me, if I go to bed as me, and next day morning wake up and I forget me, I will be waking up as somebody else. So the very fundamental thing is, I am is the combination of Chitta and manas. I stop here. We later on discuss Chitta in depth details. It is like the hard drive, at the same time it is also got intelligence. It stores the data automatically for you during Sushuddhi. It works. Chitta is still working. The last but not the least is called Ahamkara. The first letter in Sanskrit is A, in every language is A. And the Finnish letter in Sanskrit is Ha. Put together Aha. Aha means this body. Aham. Ahamkaram, a state of experience, a state of mind that says I am. That is Ahamkara. This Ahamkara doesn't have a rupa, it is toward the body. We say my feet is hurting. So the feet belongs to Ahamkara. Like that Ahamkara of the 24 cosmic principles that we discussed, Ahamkara is that term. When it suffers, it talks itself, oh I am a jiva, why am I suffering like this? When it is in enjoying, it says I am an enjoyer, I am enjoying this. When it is angry, it says I am angry, I want to punish him. So it goes through everything what these does, what these individually do, Ahamkara gets attached. And that is how we say, I exist, I do things, and I am so and so. I know that I know. There are three no's there, three eyes there. I know that I know. So these overall things put together is called the mind. Now, this mind has been used to look at the world. That means it is used to look outside. Always. There has been a practice of various births that we have taken. We use the mind to look outside the world. And we get puzzled, we get involved, and we think slowly over a period of time the world is real. And we think our birth, our life, our relationships, our karmas, everything is real. Please keep in mind, as a Vedantin, all these things later on will be proven otherwise. I don't want to take you to a wrong conclusion here itself, but over a period of time, logically, when we proceed with the discourses of Advaita, we will slowly land up automatically in the right knowledge. So I given you all the four. Now there are a lot of interactions. So we as sadhana people who are constantly at the sadhana performing something related to our liberation. Liberation, when you talk, very interestingly, liberation is for who? Think about it. Don't give me an answer now. I will give it to you in the next discourse. The next discourse meaning will be. Because if you seriously think, if it is for Atma, Atma is already liberated. Atma was never captured. Atma never lost its identity. It shines in its own glory. Liberation for Brahman is unimaginable. Because Brahman is the only one without the second. Is it liberation for Maya? Maya, if it is liberation for Maya, we are in Maya, we can never get liberated. So, we have to find out the liberation is for what. I want you to think about it and go to my next discourse and find the answer. Coming now back to this. So, all put together, they are called the mind, and this manas is the one that needs control. Because intellect by itself automatically is sattva. This manas has got sattva, it has got sattva, and it has got rajos, and it has got tamos. All the three qualities mixed together. When one is up, the other two support that quality, and we never know which one is up. Anyway, I got to give you a little kind of something to think about Vedantically. Man, science-wise, it has been proved that man came from animal, and so evolved from animal. It is scientifically proved, and 5 million years ago, there were all men were all chimpanzees and monkeys and so on. So, what I am trying to say here is, animosity is automatically in man, because man evolved from animal. The animosities are the hatred, the anger, the jealousy, the covetousness and so on, and sinful acts or acts that are devolutionary. Man automatically has those. So he has to control his manas through his intellect with the experience of the past that are stored in the chitta to compare and reflect, and thereby make his ahankara down and make himself up. That means give up all the animosity and first to become a man. That is the important thing for a man to be a man. Once you have a man, you are also you have the right to the divinity, because you are divine. You are creation of God. So you have divinity automatically in you. As a man, those divinity comes out as love, like selfless work, like compassion, like friendship, and like good duty, dignity, discipline, devotion, and dedication. They all come like that. So when you practice that, you are leaving the animalhood, you are leaving the manhood, and you are coming up to a divinehood. In other religion, they have separate name: Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. So we make ourselves holy. A good yogi, a good jnani, and so on, they follow automatically by the inner call. They are clean both externally and internally, and that's how they control the mind. When they control the mind, yoga automatically sets in for them. Meditation automatically flows through them. Meditation about Om, meditation about Brahman, meditation about Gayatri, it automatically flows just like the way they breathe. So it is not that they have to sit down, do some things, and then get to the meditation. I have given you a general idea, my dear devotees and disciples, and the onlookers and the newcomers, all are welcome. I will go in depth when I go into the site, into each one, and how they work and how we can control it and so on. This mind is the one, as I said, remains the same. Only thing is the mind's external thing is destroyed at the time of death. But as soon as another mind is formed, another jiva takes another body, the mind immediately comes out. All the things that were in the mind, called feelings, emotions, chitta, everything, they automatically get entered into that mind. So that mind and this mind becomes no more different. It is up to us to control the mind. But that is how much we can do. So with that, what I am going to say is, think about what I said, and we will continue on the next discourse about Advaita topic. Always remember Brahman is one without a second. Om Tat Sat. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.